wanted to start a program, but you feel like all your favorites are going to be gone. You can't have them anymore. Certain sensitivity or allergy or intolerance that you just discovered is going to prevent you from enjoying those favorites ever again. You feel like you warn them that they're never going to come into your life again, and if they do, they're not going to be as delicious as before. It'll just never be the same. You ever feel like that? A lot of people do. There is no reason you can't live a healthy life and still enjoy all of your favorite foods. Today, we're going to talk about how to eat whatever you want while still maintaining a healthy lifestyle. A couple of tips for you today. Get some fun little tidbits at the end that we're going to go over. So, cheers. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. All right, so let's get into this, because this is actually a hot topic among a lot of people that I talk to, especially when I first start working with people. The question I get all the time is, all right, so what do I have to give up? And it literally has that feeling, the feeling of, I know I'm gonna have to give up stuff. I know it. Just tell me. I'll deal with it. You don't have to give up. There may be situations where you have to give up things temporarily, but in the long term, no. I love ice cream. Love it with all my heart. I love brownies, cookies. They're kind of my downfall. Brownies and cookies out. I mean, now, if you put them out and you tell me there's dairy in them, I won't touch them, right? But you put those same brownies and cookies down and tell me that I can eat them, that there isn't any dairy in them, you might as well just put it in front of me, because nobody else can get anything. That is just something that I really, truly enjoy. And the way that I live my life now, and the way that I eat, the way my diet ultimately is in my lifestyle, I can send me a plate of those. Am I going to feel really good after? Probably not, but I tell you what, it'll taste really good while I'm eating it. And any repercussions I would have by eating those, that excess sugar, it's a treat, it's an indulgence, reward, whatever you want to call it, it's gone in a few days, because I eat, I enjoy, and then I move on. And there's a couple of tricks, all right? I get that some of you are listening and going, I don't know that it's that simple. It is. I promise you, it is. So if you're new here, my name is Bonnie. Hi, welcome. I am a holistic nutritionist. I've been in health nutrition fitness since 2003, so it's been a very, very long time. And my goal and my purpose in life is to share realistic information for the real lives that we live. And in my eyes, we live in a very wild world, hence Healthy in a Wild World. So welcome to Healthy in a Wild World, where we teach you how to live a healthy lifestyle in a wild world without feeling deprived, overwhelmed, or like you have to give up anything, hence the topic today. And one more, I have ADHD. I mention this just about every episode. So I'm constantly looking down. I have talking points in front of me. So if you see that, that's what's happening. It keeps me on track and keeps us from going over into like Timbuktu area every single week, because that's the topic. This is one topic that I'm very passionate about, that I love. So I can talk about it for hours. All right, so let's get into it, shall we? If you ever sign onto a program that feels like it's depriving you, right? It already feels like that. You haven't even started yet. And there is no reason, no health reason, why you need to go down this road. It's time to rethink it. And I get it. Some of those programs are expensive. There are times when you have to go down that road. There are. I mean, realistically, there are. But it doesn't mean you live there. It doesn't mean you go down that deprivation line and then you live there. It's very, very rare for that to happen. Have I seen it? Yes. And in all of my time, I think there are 2 people I've ever worked with that have experienced that and are still experiencing. And it's just health issue and health issue and health issue. And, you know, it is very, very rare. Does it happen? Yes. But for the remaining 99.99999% of us, that's not the case. All right. So here's some tips and strategies for how to eat whatever you want and still maintain and live a healthy lifestyle. Step 1, stop stressing over it. Seriously, stop. A healthy lifestyle uses an 80-20 rule, all right? 80% healthy, 20% indulgence. Your brain understands when it's getting healthy nourishment and when it's getting nourishment it doesn't need. If 80% of your diet is healthy, it provides you all the macro and micronutrients that you need. It provides you a healthy source of them, so mostly plant-based. Micronutrients, while you can get some of them from animal products, you really can't. And for those of you who believe in that, that's perfectly fine. If that works for you, that works for you. I absolutely believe that there's something for everybody. But it still comes back to you to stop stressing about it. You know, if you're eating 80% healthy and you're eating in a way that your body is able to absorb the nourishment that it needs to maintain healthy lifestyle, to maintain healthy organs, healthy functionality, then that 20%, it's a wash. It really is. Do you need to do 100% all the time? No, we're human beings. Doing 100% all the time of anything without break, without kind of backing off a little bit, actually leads to chronic stress. Chronic stress leads to chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation leads to chronic illness. Stop stressing over it. It's not worth it. Key is to eat everything in moderation, eat seasonally as much as possible, and eat a wide variety of food. These 3 tactics signal your brain that there is an abundance of nourishment out there. You have access to an abundance of nourishment. Now, I was listening to a podcast this weekend, and she was talking about abundance and how this word is thrown around all the time, but we never really define it. So let me define this for you. When I say abundance, what I'm talking about is your brain. You know, the starvation mode that we hear all about? Well, 9 times out of 10, what has happened is your brain, the little subconscious signals in your brain have decided that you're not eating as much variety or as much food, either way, it's happened in both cases, as what you actually need to survive and to thrive, not just to sit on the couch, you guys, like to actually thrive, have energy, live your life, feel well rested, and feel healthy. Your brain feels like it doesn't have enough nourishment for that. It doesn't have access to enough variety of nourishment. Therefore, there is a lack of availability of food. So you are starving. This may not be the case. It may be a perception by your brain, but your brain doesn't know. And biologically, when you're giving your brain, right, not just your body, but your brain, multiple sources of food, wide varieties of food. You like plums, have all sorts of different plums. You like apples, have all sorts of different apples. Things like that. You give it a wide variety. You eat everything in moderation, right? So you don't overindulge at any given point in time. My little sit down and eat brownies, that's an overindulgence. And that should be a rare occurrence. So for me, I do that once a month. I know that if it happens, once a month is healthy. That, I don't feel like crap. I don't beat up myself. It just happens, right? And during seasonal times like the holidays where everyone's getting together, or like summer times, it helps me not overindulge all the time. That's it. So eating in moderation, eating a wide variety, eating seasonally helps signal our brain that there's a wide variety of food available to us. If we need something, all it has to do is say so, and we can get it. That's what those abundance terms, that's what I mean when I say abundance, is your brain needs to have the perception that if it needs B vitamins, you got your spinach, you have dark leafy greens, you have fruits, you have vegetables. Everything is available to you. So if you need something, you can get it. It helps boost our immune system. It helps reduce the stress response, both of which contribute to immune system triggers, right? And stress triggers. Stress triggers immunity, right? Your immune system triggers. You know what happens when your immune system is triggered? Everything else shuts off. Everything else. So if you can manage your brain's perception of your diet and your lifestyle, it's much easier. And you don't have to go into, oh my gosh, I need an outline, I need project manager, and do that. No. Eat everything in moderation. Enjoy a wide variety of foods. Okay? And eat seasonally whenever possible. The food will taste better. I mean, think about it. Watermelon in season versus watermelon out of season. A lot of y'all don't like it. I don't like watermelon. But blueberries and strawberries, in season versus out of season. The difference in the flavor is huge. And it's not just your taste buds. It's not because you were hungover. It is not because you've been partying too much. It literally is seasonal food versus non-seasonal food. All right? Keep it simple. Now, since you are no longer stressing about it, make your favorite dishes. If your favorite dish is cheesesteak, or we'll go with cheesesteak. Why not? Can you make it a healthier version to enjoy it more often, or is it something where you would just eat it on occasion? Nobody says your favorite food all the time. The thing that a lot of us aren't aware of or don't really know is, do you know the more that you eat something, the more adapted your body becomes to those flavors, right? So in some cases, it can actually minimize or mute the flavors. Your taste buds, you could be eating the same thing all the time, and the flavors that you're actually eating and enjoying are from the memory, not from real life. And yeah, our brains are that. We are that good, you guys. A way that you can test that is take your favorite food. If you're switching from a high processed diet to healthier unprocessed diet, for instance, okay? But Big Mac's your favorite. Okay, no problem. Keep it up for a couple of weeks. Give yourself 2 weeks or so. And then not either. Go and enjoy a Big Mac. But eat it. Don't eat it when you're rushing. Just enjoy it. Eat it. Take your time to savor it. And then comment below what you think. What's the difference in taste? Giving it a couple of weeks of not having it versus having it all the time. But I'm going to let you prove me wrong. All right? Take your favorite food. Do it. Give it up for a couple of weeks. Come back to it. Enjoy it. Now, here's another option. And let's go back to that Big Mac. All right, so a Big Mac is basically a burger with a bunch of veggies on it and like a Thousand Island kind of sauce, right? Make it at home. You can make a Big Mac with turkey burgers. So let's say you're starting to have some issues with beef. I have issues with beef, um, where it's not something you can have all the time. Okay, so take that, go make your own. The way that you can eat it a lot. You can make a fishy Big Mac. You can make a turkey Big Mac. You can make a buffalo meat, or no, what is it? Bison burger. And you know, the biggest perk, I guess, is a good way to say that. The best part of making it at home is when you're choosing meats to have in your house. The healthiest meat to have within your house is hormone-free. We got enough hormones running through our body. We do not need additional hormones thrown in. I don't care if you are male, female, binary. I really don't care. You got enough hormones rolling through your body. You do not need meat with hormones in it. That's it. So when you make the Big Macs and the Whoppers and you know all these fast food, I think what is the place? Red Robin burgers, things like that. When you make those at home, you're eliminating the excess salt that they put in there. You're eliminating the fact that you have no choice in the meat that they're choosing. And I don't know what that meat is. I've never looked it up, honestly. So that's something, you eat that a lot, know what you're putting on your plate, right? And make a healthy version of it. It's much better for your system. You can indulge in it a little bit more often because if you make it a healthier version, it's probably going to taste better. Healthier versions where you're using whole foods really bring us back to original recipes. If you have not had the chance to watch it, the Food Network, I believe it's Food Network or the History Network, they've been doing the food that make us, or that made us, right? Talking about fast food, how you know, Bird's Eye was created, and all of a sudden we went from where we had to eat seasonally, we had to shop seasonally, we had to make everything from whole foods, and we went from that to this fast-paced lifestyle where our food has been compromised because it's been made so quickly with factories and such that it's lost a lot. So when you return back to whole foods, and I'm not saying it's going to take you a lot of time to make all these dishes. Trust me, there are ways to make sure that you can make all these food easily, pop them in the freezer. It is not like it's going to take you hours to cook or hours to prep. If you need suggestions for that, let's chat. But, you know, trying to live a healthier lifestyle means not indulging in that fast-paced diet. Not what our bodies enjoy. It's not what our bodies need. Is it part of our life? Yeah. But that doesn't mean it has to be part of every single day of your life. So, balance. And that's going to be your last tip is, you know, finding some sort of balance, understanding your body's signals and where it goes from balance to stressed or balance to lacking. Hunger is when you should be eating. And the only time you should start eating, just like based on specific times, is when you're just starting to reset, return your body to balance, the homeostasis, trying to rejuvenate your health. Okay, so I had announced last week on Wednesday, my gut health, my 3-week gut health is coming out. It's August 10th, so doors are now open. Click on the link in my bio. It'll take you directly to the page to sign up. If you are a former client, don't forget to DM me because you are getting that for, I think it's more than half or it's half off, something like that. I don't know. There's a difference between 97 and 47. Regardless, it brings you in and helps you reset your body over 3 weeks so that once you hit that 3-week time frame, you can move on into maintenance. And yes, there is a process, and yes, you will receive that. There's a whole Q&A every single week. We get together in a group session. If you're not able to join us live, there is a recording. You can pop in comments. You can send me a DM. You can call me. Shocker, I know, right? You can call me. You can text me. I'm here to help you. You receive an app that explains every little nitty-gritty detail of your program. And from there, you transition into this healthier life where you can eat whatever you want and still maintain it. And these tips are, we don't stress about it. We listen to our body's signals. We are mindful of not just hunger, but stress, because when you're stressed, when you're emotional, your body can send signals for hunger or and they're not realistic. So the difference is cravings and hunger signals and, full signals is really just where you are, and you need to be mindful of that. And that's something you will constantly need to be mindful of. If your whole life was just thrown into turmoil for one reason or another, good or bad, then you need to be aware that you're going to get some cravings that may not make a lot of sense. You're going to feel hungry when you're not really hungry. Your body just doesn't know what else to do. It's been thrown a curveball, and now it's just like, oh my gosh, I just don't even know, right? All of my programs, the Gut Health Reset included, take us on this journey, or take you on this journey, where you start out with eating certain times a day. And then over a 2 to 3 week time period, you start listening and hearing these signals, start recognizing them and being able to interpret them so that they help you transition into a lifestyle. They help you transition into whatever method of eating you need to do, whatever method your brain prefers, your body prefers, because some of you will prefer, intermittent fasting. Some of you will prefer a 12-hour split, eat 12 hours, sleep 12 hours. You will prefer 3 times a day. Some of you will prefer 4 or 5 times a day. Some of you want to snack all day. But until you go through that process and reach a place where you can transition to maintaining a healthy lifestyle, some of you will, some of you know. And it's just your choices. And the majority of you listening, actually, are probably sitting here thinking, well, that sounds like me. I know I need to make a change, but my choices, either I'm making a healthier choice and I'm hungry in an hour, or I'm making a healthier choice and I'm not hungry all day. So I don't know what to do. That's kind of where you log into one of these programs. A lot of my programs, they do not contain any deprivation. I don't want you to feel like you're deprived, like you will have to just suffer for a couple of weeks. That's not how this works. All of my programs include dark chocolate every single day. It does. There's a way of eating it where you put it in your mouth and you let it just. That's another trick. You are indulging. Savor your food. Shove it all in 5 minutes. It's not necessarily healthy for us. It's just kind of something that does happen because we live in a fast-paced, wild world, right? All right. So as I leave you, you have the last thing you remember from our chat together, okay? Very first thing, and very first tip for moving a healthy lifestyle, your favorite foods, eating whatever you want. Stop stressing about it. I cannot harp on that one enough. Stop stressing about it. Not worth it. Eat everything in moderation. Eat a wide variety of foods. And eat seasonally. I had to look down. I don't know why I forgot the seasonally one. That one's usually pretty obvious. But moderation, variety, seasonal. All right, as much as absolutely possible. Make healthier versions of your favorite dishes so you can enjoy them more often. And if it's something you eat all the time, spread it out a little bit. Don't eat it so frequently. I promise you the flavor will be so much better. My gosh, it feels like you just put enhancements inside your food. It's crazy. Finally, learn to listen to your body. Be mindful of cravings, understand what they mean, and be mindful of where you are in life, what the rest of your life looks like. If it's stressful, if it's emotional, if you're actually happy-go-lucky in this week, if you're on vacation. I'm the one to break it to you, but vacation for me signals you are out. You are out. You are doing your thing. I'm over here doing my thing. You are enjoying yourself. 3-day rule. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Anything you do in 3 days will be reversed. Typically it's about a week, but that takes a little bit longer. 3 days, 3 days off, 3 days back on. You should be right back where you were when you started that first 3-day indulgence. All right, people. So I'm going to leave you with that because really these tips, it all comes back to one thing. It all comes back to the very first tip. Stop stressing about it. You are causing yourself too much turmoil by stressing over whether you should or shouldn't eat your favorite food. That's something, eat it. If there is a reason, like I can't have ice cream, I can't, unless it's made in another fashion. Doesn't include dairy. So, I mean, technically it's not ice cream. It's like, you know, dairy-free ice cream, ice cream light. But who's to say I can't make a healthier version of my ice cream? Frozen with berries. Just a healthier way of having ice cream. If you enjoy something every single day, let's figure out how you can enjoy it, how you can eat it every single day without the repercussions of poorly made recipes, something that is high in sugar, something that's high in fat, something that is just going to throw you out of balance every day or trigger any multitude of symptoms you've been experiencing. Life's too short. Stop stressing. All right, so if any of this resonates with you, if you're struggling in any way, shape, or form with weight loss, with side effects from either sensitivities, intolerances, autoimmune dysfunction, or chronic illness, let's chat. DM me or comment below, happy tummy, that's this month's little signal, and I will reach out to you and I will chat. I have no problem giving you my cell phone so we can actually chat. And everybody gets a free initial consultation anyway, so if you're struggling, don't struggle alone. Get into my DMs and let's schedule some time together so that we can get you unstuck. All right. This is a wild, wild world out there. We are seeking to be healthy in a wild world. That means no obsession, no stress. Stop stressing about it. Remember that? And that is all for today, you guys. Next week, we are going to talk about 4 diet beliefs that work against you. Things that you may not even realize are either stagnating you or screwing with your mind. You don't need that. So, cheers. Go have a great week. And remember, don't stress about it. You're good. You need help? let's chat. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great Monday. I will chat with you next week.